try. I got an interesting comment. I think it was today, where someone posted that the things I posted in one of my Tony Bellew videos versus Nathan Cleverly wasn't correct, and I can understand that because I've been an advocate for us to be able to see these fights. For example, you know some of our lesser known fighters, to whereas in over here in the United States, we don't know about, well, I do, but the masses don't know about Paul Smith, Callum Smith, Tyson Fury, and those guys. So there's a conflict of interest when it comes to boxing because for some reason our networks don't show fights outside of the United States. So when you get a fight like this weekend, right now it's November the 17th, 2014, you get a fight like that happened this weekend with Vladimir Klitschko versus Kubrat Pulev. They don't, like, American fans didn't understand how much of a big fight that was. They know Klitschko because they know him and they associate him with, the two Russian brothers, even though they're from the Ukraine. So, long story short, it was a big fight, but they didn't know who Kubrat Pulev is, so they're like, oh, he's a bum. But to people in the know, it's like, oh shit, Pulev got his ass beat. So, moving on, I'm a Tony Bellew fan. Yes, I watch his fights. I believe I'm like 5 in now, if I'm correct. I've covered the last 4. This is the first one I'm covering on this channel. Anyway, I'm going to leave the numbers out of it. I'm going to say this, 22-2. He's been knocked out once. He had that, either way type of decision with Nathan Cleverly in the first fight. And I think, like I said in my last videos, I think he's a natural cruiserweight. He's a natural cruiserweight. Nathan Cleverly's been calling him a fat light heavyweight or fat heavyweight. To me, he's a natural cruiserweight. Now, will he ever be a heavyweight? No. I don't see it. But as far as who would be the better fighter naturally at cruiserweight, even though the UK fans, from what I'm getting from it, and like the comments said, I don't have all the facts. You're right. Because if I want to watch a Gloves Are Off, or Behind the Ropes, or whatever, ringside, just like you guys got to stay up late at night to watch our boxing, over here it's the same thing with just watching the shows. You know how you gotta go through hell and high water to watch HBO 24/7 unless it pops up on YouTube. Same thing here. So what I'm saying is it's not enough national exposure. And when you got a guy like me covering the fight, it just, people think I'm just like, oh, he knows everything. No, I don't. Like, I get, it's, how can I put it? I have a lot of subscribers in the UK. Those fighters are easily accessible, so I get information on them. But as far as following the fighters, I watch and cover their fights live. I watch tapes on them of previous fights. I understand and know now covering overseas boxing or European boxing. I'm not calling you people from the UK European. From what I understand, you don't like that. But what I'm saying is that I put in the time to know the fighters, to know the tendencies, the punches, and the things to look out for, and such. So when I pick Tony Bellew, I'm thinking, okay, all right, Nathan Cleverly may be he is. It's not maybe. He is the better athlete. He's ripped, he's shredded. He put on that 20 plus pounds of muscle. But I don't feel that that's his natural weight. Now, despite the fact that his 2 fights at cruiserweight, he's had 2 knockouts. But you look at Nathan Cleverly, you look at Tony Bellew, who's went the distance in one, and I'm wondering, can Cleverly even hurt Bellew? And they both got 14 knockouts. Cleverly is 28-1 with 14 knockouts, and then 22-2 with Donna Stevenson and Cleverly. Yeah. So, long story short, I'm wondering, like, the dynamic of the fight is, and from what I'm understanding, it's on pay-per-view, Sky Sports box office. So over here we got HBO pay-per-view, Showtime pay-per-view. So what I'm understanding is that it's a pay-per-view fight over there. I can see the intrigue about the fight, and even another big fight coming up is Billy Joe Saunders, Chris Eubank Jr. And I don't believe that, well, that's on Box Nation, so that's always pay-per-view. You pay for that every month. So, I guess what I'm saying is, there's a reason. I don't want to say cleverly soft. I don't want to say that, but I don't see him as being, able in another weight division where I feel Cleverly is a 175 pounder, to whereas Bellew is a comfortable cruiserweight. I don't feel he can come at the Bellew's level, especially after when the first fight was a close fight. So you get where I'm going with this. But long story short, if you don't know, I'm T-Street Controversies. It's T-Street Controversy Live, and I cover boxing. Every single major fight live, some of them live. But this weekend, of course, moments after, I'm going to be covering the fight and every single fight on the card. Major fight. Anthony Joshua, Michael Sprott, George Groves, Dennis Duglin, James DeGale, Marco Antonio Parabani. He needs to shine in that fight. See, I know. So I'm going to do a couple more prediction videos as the week goes on. And what's going to happen is I'm going to cover the weigh-ins. So it's a big week with Manny Pacquiao, Vasil Lomachenko, and yada, yada, yada. But long story short, please subscribe. Right down below, all my videos, boxing articles, etc. RealCombatMedia.com. T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live.